How's it going? And Happy New Year to everybody. Back out here with the 2015 Suburban. As I discovered the other day that I had a little bit of a leak coming from a sunroof. That's unfortunate, as it's relatively new and I wouldn't expect such. And so, wondering whether or not we would have an expensive bill on our hands to try to get that fixed due to a seal or anything like that, I just quickly want to show you all how you can repair your own sunroof and be able to get it to stop leaking, as well as address other minor concerns that often plague these type of things. So, why don't we get started? So here we have our conventional sunroof, and at first glance, if you're leaking, you may think, okay, well maybe there's a problem with our seal over here, right? So there's a few things you want to consider here. Is firstly, you want to make sure that your seal is entirely clean. So we're going to open this up, clean it up a little bit. On top of that, you also want to make sure that this is draining properly. Now, inside here, I'll show you that there are little spots where water creeps in, but is able to creep out, and you want to make sure you keep those clean. But lastly, there's also another way to be able to get this to seal, and that is by resetting it. So just a quick look inside, you'll see here is where we had that leak starting. Had it coming all the way down and dripping right down here into the center console. So we don't like that. We don't want to have leaks in our car. Oftentimes you may find that this happens with heavy rains. So what we want to do is be able to look at a couple of different areas. So back up on the roof here, and we have our sunroof open. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look for any debris all around this channel. You see, when I flip this down, see there's like a little bit of a channel right down here that in part is there to be able to collect any water that may drain from the gap between the sunroof and the body. And if you look a little more closely, and I'll try to zoom in for you here, in that corner, and there's one at each corner, there is a little bit of a drain. Alright, there's a little drain there. And that allows any water to be able to drain right down. So what you want to do is test to see how that water flows down into the drain. So there's one at the top left and one at the top right. So I'm going to take a little glass of water here. And let's see what we got. So I'm going to pour it right in. And I don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear it drain and you can see it drain. It goes right down without any problem. So we're looking at a pretty good drain, and as you can see, it is rather clean in here. What I'm going to also do, clean up this little seal here. Right there, just put my finger there. There's a whole seal right there that we just want to make sure is absolutely clean, and do that before anything. So we're just going to take one of our wipes here, make sure, just wipe clean on the one side, do the same for the next. It's usually this front that ends up getting you in terms of leaks. That combined with not having your clean drain holes. So make sure your drain holes are clean, they're draining. Also make sure everything is nice and lubricated over here. Get a little shot of some anti-seize there a bit later on. And make sure you don't have any leaves or any debris here in your channel, your drain channel. Okay, so we got that done. We got on both sides this entire seal cleaned. Went quickly all around the rail here. And there we are. Just to make sure we got all that clean. And then got a little bit of anti-seize lubricant right here on the track. Just goop it on there nicely on any of those track guides, as that stuff does two things. It'll get wherever it needs to get once those rollers come, and it'll stay there, which is why I really love it as a preferred lubricant. It's one of the best things out there. I've been using it for years. Okay, so back here with the open sunroof. So the first thing you want to make sure is that your hands are clean. Don't get any of that nasty anti-seize all over your interior. Doesn't come off quite well. So as you see, we have our sunroof open here. Here is our control panel. So we have our tilt and we have our slide. So let's shut this. Put everything in the run position. Shut this all the way down. Now the first thing we want to do is open our sunroof tilted. So just open the vent on the sunroof. Okay, we've done that. So now what I'm going to do is go up to the sunroof and hold down the tilt button from anywhere to 5 to 7 seconds until we hear a little jab or a little reset, and you'll see it just move very, very quickly. So I'm going to put my finger on this, and you guys make sure you just keep an eye and listen. Any moment now. Anytime. Ah, there it was. Did you see it? I heard it. I didn't see it, but I heard it. That's what we want. Now, once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to run through cycles of opening and closing the sunroof. The first thing we're going to do is completely close it. So shut the vent. Now, I want you to open and close your sunroof 7 times. Okay? Ready, set, go. So we're back out here on the roof, and you'll see at our glance we've definitely restored a good even seal all around the sunroof, where the sunroof, and I don't know if you can see this, should be slightly above the level of the body, so this way it creates a nice seal. And you can certainly feel that with the tip of your finger. Now naturally the eye test can only go so far, and it is a really nice sunny day, so how are we going to test this? I'm a big believer in the scientific method, and so since we don't have the conditions to be able to mimic what type of rain that this sunroof is going to exhibit, I've decided that I'm going to very carefully and very methodically simulate all types of non-freezing weather conditions to be able to see how we seal. Make sure your door is closed before you do this. My door is open. I'm getting wet. There. So I sat in my car and found out that my interior seat was all wet. But luckily, that was because I didn't shut the door during my test. But from what I can see over here, we are as dry as a bone in the summertime, which means that I'm gonna call that good enough. And so next time, if you're having some sunroof leakage problems, try this out. More than likely could be that either your sunroof is a little bit clogged in its channels, maybe your seal's a little bit dirty, or, and this is pretty likely, that your sunroof isn't aligned properly. So this is a great quick way for us to be able to get this done and get this fixed. So until next time, here's to doing it.